So I think misinformation, disinformation, brands are starting to realize that impacts every part of our life. So effectively Gen Z, Gen Alpha, I think were the first to figure out they could use social media to put challenge and to challenge the brands they're buying from to make more ethical decisions. But now every demographic group has figured that out. So now brands are facing pressure from every single demographic group, every single audience that has been filter bubbled down into these kind of different groups. And they have to make decisions on who am I going to choose? Which audience do I want to represent the brand values of, right? And this comes down to where organizations like Meltwater can help, because effectively that makes it a data-driven decision. You need to be monitoring those audiences, understanding their values, understanding the decisions they're making, and therefore representing those decisions in your choices.
So we've found that there's a section of people, or it comes up again and again, who are willfully sharing, or whether they're doing it intentionally or not, end up amplifying information that they know to be untrue. So sometimes they might be doing that and they're sharing it with friends, basically to laugh at, to go, what a ridiculous thing, can you believe this? Other people might be doing things like commenting on posts to debunk it and to say it's not true. But the actual net effect of that is that it tells the algorithm, this is really engaging, this is really interesting, and we should boost this, we should show this to more people. And so an important part actually, more generally for behavior change, needs to be about informing people about how the algorithms work. It's telling them actually, when you post a comment saying this isn't true, you might be unintentionally spreading this further. On the brain training more generally, we've also tested a really short inoculation quiz where people go through it and they have to guess whether something is true or untrue. And then once they've done that, it gives them some feedback and tells them you were right or you're wrong. Here's the sign to look out for, that this is either reputable, real information, or this is fake information. And that's a really powerful tool. And we found a really short 45-second game that people saw before we then put them into a simulated social media environment, made them significantly less likely to amplify fake information.
We've been talking about misinformation and disinformation, but actually often where it starts is on dark social. And what I mean about dark social is WhatsApp or Facebook groups. It's in smaller groups where slightly more trusted voices, misinformation thrives. And at that point, it will kind of burst from those onto the more For You pages. And that's how it spreads really quickly and picks up really fast.
This evening was a real wake-up call, I think, for the PR and the communications industry to step up. I mean, a lot of communications is about outbound campaigns, but really what this is about is the maturing of the industry to be better at monitoring, anticipating, listening.
Disinformation, how that affects our dynamic with politicians. What might we as voters be saying to politicians? What might they be exchanging with each other that, dare we say, exceeds the boundaries of what you might say in Parliament?
It was a really interesting event, and one learning that I will forever hold dear is the fact that 30% of the UK population believe aliens landed on the Earth.